Hi guys, this will be a short video where I'll cover the basic introduction to Spring Batch. So let's begin. So when we think of Spring Batch, it is basically a lightweight component and it is a compressive batch framework, and basically it is used to perform ETL tasks. So ETL means E stands for extract, stands for transform, and L is for loading the data. So when we mean what do we mean by extracting is that basically reading the data from database. Transform is just once you have read the data, you want to perform some operations on it, so you'll be performing those operations and you'll convert them into a different form, or maybe some other data would be generated. And L stands for loading. Loading is basically writing, so whatever the data you have transformed, you are loading the same data on the database. So this is an example of ETL which we do. So if we think for doing this ETL task for just a few records is very easy and it won't consume more time at all. But just think, if you have millions of data which needs to be read, processed, and then written back onto a database, so how will you do it? It will be very difficult and it would consume a lot of time if we just write code normally without using any framework. So in these scenarios we use Spring Batch. So we should not confuse it with a scheduler, but it is intended to work with a scheduler. So as we move along the further videos, you'll be clear on these concepts. So here this is basically the second line is basically telling the things which I have told you while explaining ETL job, that it is used to load data from file to DB or read the data from DB, and it processes to give a different output, and then you can store it on a separate database as well. So now we'll move to Spring Batch architecture. So it has basically three core components. One is the application, second is the batch core, and third is the infrastructure. So application means basically writing the batch jobs. So batch jobs are a bit complex to write. You need to write the item reader, item processor, item writer, and all those stuffs. So this is basically the code written by developers, and it can contain APIs and all those stuffs. If we go to batch core, it contains the core classes which are needed to create the batch job. Like, we need to launch the batch job, right, and even control how the batch job will work. So those things come under the batch core. And if you see, the examples are job launcher, job, and step. So I'll be covering what this job launcher, job, and step means in the further videos, but for now you can think like batch core is something which contains job launcher, job, and step. So infrastructure is the third part, and it basically contains the readers, writers, and services. So as I've told, like batch jobs will use these things, and these services come under infrastructures. So these are basically used by the developers to code the batch job. And as you know, it consists of item reader and item writer. So that's it for this small introduction of Spring Batch. So we'll come back to the next video. And if you liked my video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.